Welcome to sort of an unusual edition of the Mountain Oracle. I'm down on the Natchez Trace in Mississippi. These trees here behind me are tupelos. I don't know. I think they're related to poplar some way, but they tend to have these real big root systems, and they can tolerate being covered with water. They grow here in the swamps and whatnot. But this is not about trees. This is about what's going on right now. I'm sorry I'm not exactly keeping up with the schedule for the Mountain Oracle, but I came south and Google took me over in the woods, and I damaged my suspension system on the Starship, and I'm waiting on parts. That's okay. I'm happy where I'm at. It's all an adventure. But anyway, I've been thinking about the reason poor old Mr. President Trump's had such a hard time. When he went to Washington, they were used to just trading this thing out among friends, this political office, presidency, and other important positions. So they thought they could just keep doing that forever because, you know, if you keep enough controversy going, you can get enough money coming in and you can have your way. It don't make any difference whether you're actually doing something for the good of the people, just as long as you keep that money flowing. And he really tore up the playhouse, and he made enemies on both sides. I come to understand this. I was in a city planning commission meeting one time, and they just suspended everything because they had this guest speaker who was there to invite them to use a government grant. They were going to get, and these numbers are close but not exact, they were going to get a matching grant. They put up $10,000 and some government institution was going to put up another $20,000, and they had to build a walking trail. Oh, they just stopped everything. They jumped on that. Well, we can do that. And then the rest of the information was it's got to be at least a mile long. Well, they mulled around there and kicked each other and everything else trying to figure out where to put a mile walking trail, and they wound it around and around, and they wasn't sure where it was going to fit. And they well, we just have to get back next month. I think they eventually got it. I'm not sure. But I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, well, this is an opportunity to not to get $20,000, but an opportunity to spend $10,000 because they had to put up 10 in order to get 20. And what they were going to do, they were going to build a walking trail. They didn't have anywhere to put it, had never thought about it, didn't know anything about it, didn't need it, but they thought that was a great plan. They stopped all of us that had business to do there so they could get this here walking trail done. And that puzzled me because I've never enjoyed spending money. If I was going to get a bunch of money, but it was going to cost me some too, I didn't feel like that was a great deal. And I said so. I had this old Charlie Payne was my accountant for years. He died about 3 years ago. Good man. I miss him. But I asked him about it. I said, what's this all about? Why would they do that? He said, well, you just don't understand business. In fact, the problem is you do understand business, but you understand private business where you don't spend money for nothing. But this is public business, and the more money you spend, the more likelihood you'll get some benefit, or your friends will get some benefit for it. So they didn't look at it as wasting 10, they looked at it as gaining 20. And that's what Trump has screwed up. And the reason he's made so many enemies is because he tore up some playhouses. And they don't appreciate that kind of stuff. Another point is we hear about scandal. I've heard that the Obama administration was the most scandal-free administration and term in years, and that's true. It's absolutely true. But let me read you a definition of a scandal. It says, according to what I read on that internet thing, it says an action or event regarded as morally or legally wrong, okay, and causing general public outrage. That causing general public outrage is the key. It's not a scandal unless it's reported on. And when you've got the whole reporting agency of the world, or at least the United States, sucking up to you and licking your butt, you don't get no bad reporting, so you're scandal-free. It don't make any difference. The list of would-be scandals, unless they're reported, by definition, they're not a scandal. You know, I said for years, if we ever had a black man run for president, I'd vote for him because he'd be wanting to do such a good job. But I didn't know that the first black man that ran was going to be a dedicated Marxist who lies about it, raised by a family that hated America, raised by, well, old Pseudo. I think he might have been in favor of the United States, but certainly Obama's mama and Obama's daddy, Obama's mentor, I forget his name, but they were all Marxists, or at least hated America, and that's a shame, really. But that's the way it was, and that's over with. And I hear about Trump lying, too. Trump's lies. You know, the whole Biden campaign is based on the lie of what Trump supposedly said at Charlottesville. And look it up. Read the text of the speech. He didn't. That's all fabricated. And by a person. I mean, Biden came out and said that's why he was running. He just couldn't tolerate that kind of behavior. And it's a lie. But he's notorious for lying. Look how he lost out in the first presidential primary he ran in. They kicked him out or hound him out because he got caught plagiarizing. He's notorious for that. And I don't know, is this enough material for the Mountain Oracle? I've kind of been on a rant. I've been stopped up here, nowhere to relieve the tension down here locked up in the woods, but I got parts coming and I'll be all right. Had some people wondering when I'm going to get a haircut. Well, I was getting a haircut till the Democrats shut down the barber shops and kind of got used to letting it grow, but I'm saving it up now. I'm gonna get it cut when it grows out a little longer. I'm gonna get it cut and donate it to this outfit that makes toupees for my male counterparts that have bald spots. And I'm gonna try to make it free if they can stand a little gray hair over their shiny spot. But other than that, folks, I don't know. Bob may be on this week. I'm not sure whether he will or not. But despite my difficulties being here tied up and waiting on parts, I have to admit I'm having a good time. I'm here in one of the trails off the Natchez Trace Parkway. I love this place. They've shut down the main campground, the one I consider the crown jewel up at Meriwether Lewis, is shut down. And the excuse is COVID, you know, the Kung Flu. And they've closed all the bathrooms. Alabama's got some porta potties outside the road. You come through a corner of Alabama coming down the trace, and I've not seen any anywhere else. But either way, I think a lot of this shutdown is an excuse, but that's okay too. I'm happy. I can stay here another week before they even talk about running me off, and then I've got a few more days. So, got parts coming. You folks just don't forget about old Wild Bob and Ronnie. I mean the Mountain Oracle. We'll see what happens next. Love y'all. Bye.